This one is gonna sting a lot. But I'm about to show y'all where we got this from.
Alright, let's see it.
So for those of you that have actually read the Bible, have you noticed how connected it is to Egypt?
There was absolutely a lot of Egyptian hegemonic influence on the early Hebrew Bible up until the period when the Neo-Assyrian Empire wrestled control away. Israel was frequently a vassal to Egypt.
Egypt is mentioned all throughout the Bible. That's because the scriptures of the Holy Bible come from what some people call the Egyptian Bible.
There are no data that support this.
And they had a set of commandments to follow in order to get to that point, which sound an awful lot like these 10 commandments. Pay close attention. Here's an example from the Holy Bible. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not take the name of God in vain. You shall not murder. You shall not steal. We've all seen this before. The 10 commandments of the Holy Bible sounds a lot like this. These are part of the 42 negative confessions that the ancient Egyptians had to live by in order to make it to the afterlife. And as a way to protect themselves until they get to the afterlife, they would write down these 42 confessions and they would be buried with them. Example, I have not slain men and women. I have not stolen. I have not committed robbery with violence. I have not uttered lies. I have not uttered curses. I have not committed adultery. I have not lain with men. These sound an awful lot like the 10 commandments.
So the negative confessions only sound like the 10 commandments to the degree we distill a select few of them down to these generic universal ethical principles. Do not kill, do not steal, do not lie, do not commit adultery, are ethical principles that are found in literally every law code from ancient Southwest Asia and pretty much every ancient ethical treatise from this time and place as well. This is not unique. This overlap is phenomenally generic, and it does not indicate in any way, shape, or form a genetic relationship. And there are no other data that point to any kind of genetic relationship. So this doesn't really establish the origin of any part of the Bible, much less the Bible as a whole.
Here's another example. Here's a verse from the Holy Bible that a lot of people are familiar with. Then said Jesus unto his disciples, Verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter the kingdom of heaven. That sounds an awful lot like this verse from the Book of the Dead. Labor not after riches first, and think thou afterwards will enjoy them. He who neglects the present moment throws away all that he has. As the arrow passes through the heart, while the warrior knew not that it was coming, so shall his life be taken away before he knoweth that he had it.
So that is not from the Book of the Dead. That's not an ancient Egyptian proverb at all. That's not an ancient Egyptian anything. So this is the earliest example I can find of that paragraph in English literature, and this does not come from an Egyptian anything at all. This purports to come from a translation of a Brahmic text. This comes from The Economy of Human Life. This is the 7th edition of this text. This is the first one that I could find that has that paragraph, but you can see down in the lower right-hand corner, this was published in 1751. Egyptian wasn't even deciphered until the 1820s. So this is not Egyptian in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. I think we would all do well to take a step back and think a little more critically about the sources that we're engaging and realize that it is very easy for people to publish stuff that is just pure and utter fabrication.